Hello, this is Kinshasa Nicholas, and I'm in 640 ON, EDSE 640 ON. And this is my video blog response to Dr. Tom's response to my other video, and to talk about the Emily article and Emily video. So, again, my name is Kinshasa Nicholas. And so in the Emily video, in the beginning, she wasn't very confident at first with her writing. So during the school board meeting, they brought up in the beginning she wasn't really able, like she was saying, to be able to reflect and analyze her own writing. And her teacher, Miss W, really helped her because she believed in her, she believed in all the students. She took a very hands-on approach. She allowed the students to be able to review other writings from the class before and from other students' writings. And again, like I said, she was very hands-on. She provided many examples of what good writing looks like. She provided many examples of how they were allowed to be able to analyze the writing. And due to that, she allowed the students to have a lot of practice time. She was very hands-on, which I believe helped the students a lot. And obviously it helped Emily a lot. And Emily also talked about that she learned, one of the things that she learned was that if you're not able to examine your own work or reflect on your own work, then how can you actually improve on your practice? Which I believe is really true. I mean, until you're able to really self-reflect and look at your writing or analyze it, or even anything, it could be math, for example, too. Until you're able to honestly take a look at it and reflect on it and edit it and be able to understand maybe where your mistakes are at, then until you're able to do that, then you're not going to be able to achieve a higher status. So I think that that's very important. That was one of the things that Emily talked about being able to do, and Miss W helped her to reflect on that. Also, one of the questions that Dr. Tom talked to me about in my response, and his response to me, was about motivation, like, what motivates the students. And I think in Emily's case, she was motivated. She wanted to improve. She wanted to do better. And she just needed somebody to believe in her and to show her how she could do better and what she needed to do in order to become a better student and a better writer. And so I was trying to explain in my past video that I don't believe that, sometimes some students are not intrinsically motivated, right? Like they don't have it internally to be motivated to do work. And so they need that extra push, they need that extra support from teachers. And what I was saying before is that as educators, we are required to try to figure out some way to motivate our students to as best as possible. I mean, obviously, we can't force anybody to do anything. They have to want to learn and they have to want to do better, but we also have to motivate them. One of the things that's on the Torah lesson plan format, it says, what's the motivation, right? What is the motivation in order? What's the hook, line, and the sinker to get our students to learn? What is that hook? And that's part of, in the lesson plan too, the motivation. So we have to, if students don't have the motivation within themselves, we have to require them to have the motivation. We have to be able to require them to have that motivation. In regards to the Marissa and Miss Jones situation, so I don't believe that teacher was very hands-on. To me, that teacher was not very motivating and had a kind of a rigid way of teaching, and because of that, the students were not responding. And so I do think that sometimes it does come down to the teacher. Like I said before, we are the ones that have to provide that kind of motivation to our students. We have to figure out a way to get them interested. How do we get them interested and excited about learning? And it's not an easy process, but it's something that we have to assess ourselves as teachers. We have to look at ourselves, assess ourselves, and figure out a way, how can we motivate and get our students to actually to learn and to want to learn, to be excited about learning. So that's part of what we have to be able to do. So I think with the Marissa and Miss Jones situation, the teacher there was not as hands-on like Miss W, and did not provide a lot of hands-on opportunities for the students to engage in their own learning. And that's what we want to do. We want the students to be able to engage in their own learning and to be able to take a handle on their own learning in a sense. So that is my response to Dr. Tom's and response to my video blog. And again, I talked about the Miss W as a teacher, Emily as a student, the Emily article, and also the Marissa and Miss Jones article. Thank you, and have a good day.